Alright, let's do a quick test here. Just want to make sure my mic's working. You guys hear me okay? Hopefully you can. Alright, let's take a look at what we got going on here overnight. So first things first, we are main level to look at 29,700. We're rejecting off that level. You can see on my top right of the chart, 15 minute might be a little small, but 29,700, we were kind of just grinding up here overnight, forming this nice little channel. And what we're looking at is to see if we're going to get bullish, we'll be looking for price to move up towards 30,000. If we fail to hold the mid 29,500, we'll be looking for a move potentially below Friday's New York opening print, which is 29,360. In terms of major key levels, we've got our lug levels here on chart. If you look here on the middle chart, you'll see we have our yellow lug level priced at 29,726. So as long as we stay heavy below that, then we can expect potentially a move towards London low at 29,575s. If we start getting bullish, or I should say if we continue bearish, we'll be looking for major targets down below 29,466. Above that, 30,000s is kind of the main level, priority high on Friday. And then we have our main targets from our lug levels, 29,095s. So we'll see how the market here opens and where we push. So taking a look at the Renko charts, on the 8-bar chart, we rotated from our upper band around major quarter 29,750s, found some support 700, failed to hold.
1 minute now until we get the market on open imbalance.
700. So we'll see as the market opens here what kind of move we get if we can stay heavily below 700s. Says my microphone is hard to hear. Let's see about that really quick. I'll have to work on that one here, but we'll see. We'll get back to that. Market just opened up.
Prime long.
Market on open imbalance, S&P 500, sell side 9.4 million, Nasdaq 100, buy side 11 million, Dow 30, buy side 20 million, Mag 7, sell side of 4 million.
All right, we're testing our VWAP here. We had some nice little offers here get pushed into the New York Open. Failed to hold. Nice dump there.
Prime long.
See if we get a little pop off the low. Take a quick scalp. Boom, target hit right there. Quick scalp long off that low. So I know it was a really quick trade. Quick target, 60 ticks. So just took a prime long off the VWAP. So on the right middle chart here, so 1 minute chart, we're plotting our opening range highs and lows. So let's see what we got here. Price is attempting here at 600. We'll see if they can hold the 600 level. Need to adjust my big trades indicator here. So reclaiming the 930 opening price. So nice bounce off 600. See our ATR here. It's not too big here on 1 minute so far. 73 ticks on the 1 minute.
Prime short.
Hopefully my audio's working now. Let's see. Okay. So big move there up above 700s. Coming to retest our lug level at 726s. Let's see if we get some acceptance above. No audio? Okay, let me try to figure this one out here real quick. Okay, I see what the issue is. 1 second. Sorry, guys. How about now? Hopefully that works. So far we've gotten some closure here above 700s. Let me know if my mic's working now. Got some offers here at 750s.
S&P 500 extending gains out of the open, and we're up 0.8% here. A space stock ETF jumps as much as 4.6%.
Big reaction there off 750s. And let's see if we can get back above 700s and we can firm up above 700. If not, we'll be looking for price to push back and maybe retest our 650 level here. But if we do reclaim, I'll be looking for longs back above 700s and the opening price. We currently are above opening price, so it'll be above our 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. open. Okay, we are breaking down. Let's see. I'm trying to get this mic to work, but see what happens here.
Prime long.
Another prime long signal here. Will it hold? This one failed off the rejection of 700. We're back at 650s. So we'll see if we're going to be able to accept here. Holding our VWAP. It's our 930 VWAP. All right. I guess my microphone is still not working. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Right. I guess my working. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. Never mind. I got it to work. All right. Let's do this. Let's take a look at this 15-minute candle. Not much going on here. Price looks like it's struggling here at the 550 level. Okay, here's our reclaim. Let's see if they can hold above 700s. I'll be looking for a long if we can stay firm above 700s. Not yet. I don't want to be buying into this upper band like that. We need to wait for some type of liquidation here. Here we go. There's some sellers coming in now. Let's see. Is that the one? Is this the move? There we go. Got some closure above 700. That pullback right here would have been a nice little entry, but let's make sure that they're going to hold above 700. We've got major resistance here at 726s, so I prefer to see that we start holding above our yellow lug level before I start buying aggressively. Got big trades coming in, big buyers. That would have been the nice entry right there. We had that trap seller right here at 150. 150 contracts sold right at 700. And now we're beginning to stay firm above 700s. But we'll see. We're still testing here this level. We just got some closure above 25s. This would be a chase entry for me. The proper entry would have been right here, and then that first pullback would have been great. That would have given a really nice move, 200 plus ticks.
Prime short.
Let's see if they can bust through 750s now. 15-minute, looking like it's really trying to close above overnight high. Overnight highs at 759s. See how we're attempting here at the yellow lug level see what they're going to be able to do. So we've rejected under the VWAP, so that's kind of bullish. And then you can see they attempted here again. Now they're attempting again. So let's see if these sellers here can get trapped and we get a nice squeeze above 769s. So we have our major quarter here at 750. Let's see. Nice strong closure above 26s at our yellow lug level. Big seller here at 800. Let's see if they're going to push into that level. I'm sure they are. Let's see. Missed this whole run up. That's all right. So this whole rotation occurred right here. 700 reclaim. Okay, our 15-minute opening range is completed. Obviously they're going to push through the high. They just tagged it. Let's see if they're going to be able to stay above. You can see we have the offer here, 308 contracts there. These guys are pumping. Looks like we're getting right to the orange lug level at 846s. So that entry would have been epic, right? On that reclaim of the yellow level at 726s. So this is where we should have taken advantage of the move right here. We had that inside bar breakout after the pullback.
US stocks extending gains with the S&P now up 1%.
S&P is also up 1%. So we've got all this. We got the support there. So obviously everything's lifting.
Prime short.
Got a prime short. Break back under the opening range high. Let's see if they're going to just sweep this. So they just filled those offers at 800, 300 contracts. You can see the aggressive buying that came in on the way up. And then here's our prime short. Nice little mean reversion scalp. Would have been 100 ticks short there. Not interested right now in mean reversion at the moment. We need to see some more failures and a little bit more aggression here from the sellers. There's that buyer, 750. Nice reaction there off that 750 major quarter level. Little sweep there on the 1 minute. They're going to try to Get some closure above 795s, our opening range high. And then that next target will be 486s. $29,880s is going to be our one-day max for the NQ. 29,880s. So we'll be watching for that level. All right, we're going to get this continuation move here as we begin to hold above opening range high. Are they going to trap and break back under? Give us a deeper pullback towards 25s. Maybe liquidate some buyers for a little bit. There we go. Maybe get a pullback here to our yellow lug level, 725s. I'd be interested in potentially getting long around 725s, maybe 714s. Above 700, as long as you hold above 700, I'd be interested. 750 level's been holding his support, so let's see if they stop those folks out first. There you go. All the chasers getting stopped out. We just broke below the 900, so that whole breakout, break back in, fail breakout around 2800s. Opening range high failure. Could be just a deeper pullback. 15-minute here, you know, we're potentially sweeping these highs, come and pull them back. We got some liquidity up above here, so 900s. We can take out these stops up top. Let's see.
Long.
There's the prime long. Delta's getting bullish here. You can see here where it says Vega AI. This is our little AI that we have that's reading everything that's going on these charts and giving us some real-time feedback. Oh, new offer here, 850. So that would be nice. They can push right to that, no problem. So very nice sweep there. They literally just tagged that 725 level and just rotated. Didn't really give us much of a opportunity to jump in there. It's too quick. Prime long would have been a great entry, but I was looking for something a little bit, I guess a little bit more patient. All right. There we go. There's our gamma levels. All right. So we're closing above 800s. Looks like we're going to get that next push now to 850s. The positive gamma environment right now. So that's why we're seeing like price pump to a high, and then we get the slow, or we get a little bit of sell pressure as we push through these highs. More contracts added to the offer, 200. Prime long here was pretty epic right off the 725 level. So these rotations here, this is helping us catch the larger rotations, not really pullback entries. Pullback entries would be these little arrows here. So this is where trend traders would be getting long. I use it more so for narrative, right? To understand how people are positioning themselves. And yeah, I'll take these trades too, but not necessarily at these levels here. Like, but the buyers have been in control this entire session so far. So we got 6.5 minutes left for the 1 hour candle to close. Let's see how this 15-minute candle closes. So we already have a break of that opening range high. We're testing 800s. They tried to pull back to 725s, couldn't get under. But now we're beginning to consolidate right around the 825 level and 800 level. So we can see that this is acting like major resistance. And if you look at the 1 minute chart, you can see some rejection there. But, you know, they're still holding above 800. So structurally, it looks like we're beginning to form a range on a 1 minute. And that's important to notice. Because as a trend trader, momentum trader, you're looking for momentum. But if we're not seeing that follow through, you've got to be mindful of that. Because otherwise, you'll be trying to buy highs and keep getting trapped.
Punchbowl News report that U.S. Secretary of State Rubio and Envoy Witkoff are to brief the House and the Senate on Iran today.
So opening range high, looks like we're breaking back under once again. Take a quick scalp short there. So nice little quick scalp, nothing crazy. 60 ticks. Just scalping out right now. So that's 2 trades. So we just took that short on the reclaim of 800 and opening range high, based on the fact that we are beginning to fail above 800s. This is like the 3rd time. So buyers might be getting exhausted here. If my target didn't get hit so quick, I'd just take a partial and leave a runner on, but it's okay. All right. Bids down here at 690s. Aggressive sellers stepping in. Now we're stacking bids as price drops. Very nice. Very nice. Let's go. Let's see what we got lining up for us now. Well, we held at the opening range mid. Let's see. We've busted back below 700s. Can the buyer step back in and reclaim? Or do we fail from here and get down to 650, which is our New York Open? New York Open is actually 654s. Well, they're already there. Wow. Very nice. Anybody catch that whole thing short? I was in it, well, only took a partial, or took a small little scalp, 60 ticks. But that puts me at two trades so far for the session. So
Prime long.
all good. All right. Let's see. Testing our New York Open and our GlobeX VWAP. Buyers, where are they? Let's see. Look at that 15-minute sweep of the high, rejection at 800. my bias technically on the macro is price is going to come back all the way down to my major level at 29,000s. That's kind of what I was anticipating. So if we start breaking down
Shares
below
of semiconductor equipment makers are rising in
500s,
early trade this morning.
I will get
We've
heavily
got Applied
short
Materials up 5.5, KLA up 4.8, Lam
in
Research up
anticipation for a move to
2.7.
29,000. So that's what I'd be anticipating. But you still gotta clear out the 500 level. See the bids? They trade right through these bids, no problem. Trade right through these bids, no problem. That's an indication here that the sellers are just super active, and we don't want to be trying to predict a reversal. So if we even get a prime long signal here, I'm not taking that. Yeah, not at all. We're going to probably take out the opening range low now, 557s. We'll see. Just taking it easy over here. Had microphone problems, so threw me off a little bit here this morning, but I think we got that figured out. That's interesting. Look at that, 600 level. So I'd be looking for potential shorts on a failure back above 650. So if we get a move where we get something like this, boom, boom, opening range mid, I'd be looking for something like that. Maybe stop out these guys here.
The yen reaches
50 seconds left on the 15-minute candle
against the US dollar. That's its weakest level since 1986.
So I'm thinking that they're gonna retest our New York opening price. There's our VWAP or our 24-hour VWAP. 10 a.m. So let's see how they handle 600s. Look at the 600 level. They're trying to accept back above, but let's see. The sellers are trying to get this opening range low.
So keep in mind we are just seeing some sudden strength coming through in the Japanese yen.
Nice seller there.
No headline catalyst.
Let's see. 15-minute expanding below the low. Are they going to sweep?
Japanese yen intervention here as the yen did reach
and rotate
a level not seen since 1986 against the US dollar.
I don't know. It doesn't look that way. I think we're going to see 500s next. We got some large bids positioning under 500 right now. There's the prime. There's the sweep on the Renko chart. We got the prime long. Here's our hourly open. Let's see if the bulls can reclaim the hourly open at 617s.
NQ 100 buy.
Oh, they just stuffed the bid right under price. Let's see if they use that to get longs, get price pushed up. This is the failure structure I'm looking for here. I want to see them fail again. I'd like to get them.
The dollar yen dropping.
I'd like them to stop out all these guys first.
Hit a 40-year low against the US
I would like to see price. I want to see buyers really put effort into getting above these levels and then exhaust and then rotate down. So I'd like that. I'd like to see these guys get stuck above 917s. So we just closed below 600. We got a retest. So if you look at the 1 minute chart, got closure through. And then they retested it here at 10:02. And now we have immediate expansion below. So maybe we're not going to get that trap above 617s. We'll see. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands.
Is paired early agains, touching
you can see that we're rotating from one band to the other band, one band to the other band. So we haven't gotten expansion. I mean, this was the first expansion right here. And now we're pretty much we're grinding sideways to down, right? So we found some new support here, 650s, or 550s, sorry, in the opening range low. So we did sweep the opening range low, but no closure through it. So no acceptance. Not yet, at least. Buyers are trying to show up here. Let's see if they can get this pump through these highs. So the seller here tried on the 1 minute. Let's see if they're going to be able to trap these buyers. I need price to get higher. I would like price maybe back above, or maybe get a retest of the 650 level. So this is what we want to pay attention to, this 10 o'clock open. They pushed up, rotate down, retested it. So these guys are really failing to get above the opening print on the 10 o'clock candle. But we've also failed to stay below the opening range low. So we're compressing right now. So what do we do during a compression? You just wait.
Amazon shares rising 4% here.
There's the break. That would have been the entry, the re-entry right there. Let's see. We're stacking the bid here, about 300 contracts, right around 29,000
California state agencies get Claude access at a 50% discount.
Our HVL level.
Claude is the first AI productivity tool that will be available to.
We start cracking below this level, puts us in negative gamma territory.
New partnership.
We'll start seeing some acceleration.
The California governor's executive orders on generative AI and government efficiency.
But we are breaking down. Let's see.
Prime long.
All right, we got a prime long. This might be what I'm waiting for here. I want to see us get a rotation to the other side, and then another attempt above the open if possible, fail below 600, and then I'll get short. But that would be, looking at that 15-minute candle, I don't know if we're going to be able to reclaim above 600. So I don't know if I'm having too much of a high standard for this entry. I think the proper scenario would have been right here. After they had the first test, came back and failed again. This would have been the actual retest entry right there. But all good. This kind of market is insane. I mean, there's so much opportunity. Look at the ATR in the 1 minute right now is 195 ticks. So, you know, even if you just scalped 5-10 seconds off of a 1 minute candle or just one little move here, it's like 100 ticks. You're good. There's that major 500. Let's see, watching the action here. Look at how they're trying to hold above. They're trying to get price back above 530s. And where's our bigger level? So we have our big blue lug level of 466. That's the final target. So, you know, getting short from the break of lug, the yellow lug level, that would have been an epic swing all the way back down to blue. So that's a trade I would typically take. We took just a quick scalp, so unfortunately didn't get a chance to hold that. And then from here, we start breaking down. The bigger levels we'll be looking at overnight low at 280s. Our Globex open as well. And then we have our prior day low at 160s. Below that, we've got put support at 29,000s. And then our one-day min, 856. So our expected move will stay contained typically 85% of the time between the one-day mid and one-day max. So we still have some good range and some good opportunity still. So what I'm looking at immediately based on this current structure is where are we going to find buyers to support price? Usually the blue lug level, we're going to get some type of reaction. Usually we'll get a meaningful reaction. But now that we're in negative gamma territory, I'm just worried that we might see some acceleration to the downside. But we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. So it's just worth noting the type of current development of the hourly candle. Obviously, this hourly candle is expanding downwards, right? So this is the opening of the hourly. They created the high of the hour, and then so far we've just been rotating lower and lower. So this is the microstructure within the 1 hour candle. So it's very helpful to look at that, because if you kind of just ask yourself, hey, this 1 hour candle's already expanded. What's the percent? Let's see. About a 0.5% to the downside. Do you want to buy that? Well, part of us could say, yeah, because, you know, we're overextended on the hourly, which is true. We're also at a major level, which is true. The other way of looking at it is like, well, while this 1 hour candle is expanding, we probably don't want to be fighting that. It's probably best to just wait. So that's where we can start using our 15-minute chart. So we got 5 minutes left on this 15-minute candle to close. And then maybe that next candle might be an inside bar or some type of, you know, pullback that we can maybe participate, or we just wait for price to pull back and then we get in sync again with the hourly. So, you know, there's 4 15-minute candles in an hourly candle. So we can kind of give ourselves an opportunity. This is setting the tone. But we don't want to be buying while this hourly candle is aggressively expanding, right? Every time frame right now is expanding below its open. And buyers just continue to fail. You see, they get above a level and then they get back above and then fail. That's the type of action we want to see if we're trying to short. We just want to see buyers continuously fail and fail and fail. But if the hourly is already down 5%, for me, that's too much for me to try to jump in and participate on the hourly. I usually like to get in during the wick formation of the high, but it didn't really give us much of that opportunity. It was so bearish, it just expanded immediately below. But there's definitely still opportunities that could have been taken advantage of. There's no question. So for us, with the signals that we would take, like these trap buyers here, once these buyers get trapped, then we get these sell signals. These are the sell signals here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but all these little red arrows are all opportunities to get in trend, right? And then trap seller, they try to grind it up, but we already know this is not something we're going to participate in. But as soon as we get that failure move right there, that's that little sweet spot. It's that nice little pocket, corner pocket right there. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these nice, clean entries with minimal drawdown. But in order to do that, you know, I know a lot of folks will just kind of zoom into, let's say, a Renko chart or a time-based chart. It's kind of a balance of both, because one thing you can't really see is acceptance or rejection as quickly, in my opinion, on a Renko chart versus with a time-based chart or traditional candlestick that shows opens and closes. But let's see as we expand out. We're holding below 425s. They just filled the bid. Every single bid's getting attacked, right? They're just hitting the bid, hitting the bid. So if you look at my Renko chart here, you'll see 220 contracts were on the bid, 168 got executed. So the sellers are super active. We're breaking below the 500 and accepting below. So this 15-minute candle. So what I'm going to anticipate for the next play here is if we can get this candle to close below 500, which I'm sure we will, I'd be looking for some type of pullback to 500, and then from there looking for an opportunity to short against. So that would be my play going into the rest of the session here. My main target, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be 29,000s. That's kind of what I'm anticipating here. Now we're below settlement.
Prime long.
Yeah, so we just pulled back to settlement. So that means they've closed the settlement gap, the RTH settlement gap. Now, usually when we see that,
also pairing gains now only up
we have to reassess and say, hey, is that the motive? Was that the reason why price moved the way it moved? Is because it's trying to repair this opening gap, right? We'll see what happens here.
Qatar advises temporary suspension of sailing and all forms of maritime activity until further notice, according to their transport ministry.
So our settlement right here is cyan line, 360s or 368. Wow, unbelievable. Look at that 15-minute candle.
S&P now
Jeez.
flat.
These guys aren't playing today. There's an overnight low. Let's zoom out just a little bit. I want to see what we got going on here. Oh, look at that. Okay, there they are.
Supreme Court lets Feds cook stay in her job for now.
There you go. Chasers just got cooked under 300.
That's the US
there you
Supreme
go.
Court
there's that
Trump remove
reclaim of settlement. Let's see now if they're going to be able to get above. They didn't reclaim it yet, but you can see them stepping in, and there was definitely some participants just waiting to get filled under in and around the settlement price.
Lost down over 2%.
Alrighty. $800 contracts got executed on the offer, but it doesn't mean anything. I mean, at the end of the day, people get obsessed with these big trades indicators, but
president's power to fire top officials.
It's all support resistance at the end of the day. So many times have you seen, if you ever use something like that, aggressive buying and price fails, or aggressive selling and price spikes, and vice versa. Aggressive buying and price keeps going higher. So at the end of the day, you have to understand context more than anything.
Toppling the 1935 precedent that allowed the independent agencies.
I like the 300 level here. They're trying to firm up. So we might be finding some support But I'd also need to see some resistance get taken out here. We have not. We still have rejected 350s in settlement. Let's see how that bid at 200 was kind of like that catalyst. Once they filled that bid, boom, rotation. It was like a nice little catalyst to get long into. And then you had the ask here. They bought right into it. So buyers are active here. So we'll see what happens. Just waiting. Let's see if these buyers are going to expand through 300. Nice attempt there. Third attempt. Buyers swept. Let's see if they're going to sustain a pullback here. We got an offer at 350. $150 contracts. They should use that to fill. Let's see. If you look at the book map here, 350 right there on the offer. There you go. They filled. Buyers are back. Let's see. At least a short term, 1030. We have the initial balance low now. No, not yet. Sorry, it's not 1030. It's 1020. Our Vega AI is saying that we're back above settlement. So now we want to see if we accept above settlement. And then that means that sellers, in order to stay in control, would need to get price back below settlement. But look at how they just held that level there.
Time now at the bottom of the hour.
We get the
Dallas Fed Manufacturing Business Index for June. Forecast of 1 on the prior spot 4.
Let's see. Strong closure above settlement. We got a prime short. Still not ready for me yet. Feels like it's still iffy. This offer right here should be easy for them to fill. You got some buyers coming in. Let's see, they're filling that offer. They filled the offer. So buyers are taking out the ask. So they're aggressive right here. So they're lifting price. They're lifting the offer. So let's see if we get some sustained follow through. Remember, this was the settlement price, right, from Friday. So we've kind of repaired all that move from the opening print back down to settlement. So that's why we were like, usually that could potentially be all they were trying to do. Right? So we'll see. And we still have 8 minutes left for the initial balance to confirm, which would set the high and the low of the first 60 minutes of the cash session here. So we'll see what happens. So we've got some acceptance back above settlement. I'd be interested in 500s. So I'd be looking for a move back to the 500 level. And then maybe consider shorting if we get some failure signals. So right now, buyers are back in control. Sellers are losing control. Simplest way to do that, throw on any trend indicator. And when you start seeing that indicator fail, that's how you know the opposite side's in control. It's easy as that. You don't need to know order flow. You don't need to know footprint chart. It's just very basic, very simple stuff. Now look, they keep throwing asks, throwing offers out, and buyers just keep taking them. Let's see. That's just all that means for us is that it's just a reason. It gives price a reason to move higher. That's it. But you can't trade that. It's not like you're just going to short. Oh, I see an offer for 100 contracts. I'm going to short. You can't trade that. At the end of the day, you still need to wait for confirmation, right? And what's confirmation? Support, resistance. Let's see if they're going to be able to. That's the short right there. Shit, I missed it. That's what I get for talking. Let's see. That's what I want to see. A major move up, and then above a big level. Couldn't reach the ask. Prime short. That would have been the trade right there. Still possible opportunity, but I'm watching to see if they're going to support this price here. If buyers are going to step back in at settlement and bid it back up. Got new lug levels here, so 29,420 becomes our new level to lean on. So if we get a reclaim of 420s, the next scalp target would be 466s.
Qatar headline. So it does say that vessels subject to international maritime conventions are exempted. So this is with regards to Qatar, who have advised a temporary suspension of sailing and all forms of maritime activity until further notice.
Back
but
below.
Again, they do clarify that vessels that are subject to international maritime
Let's
conventions.
see if we get a little pop retest, and then maybe we can get a second possible opportunity to short, but I don't know. We'll see. 5 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. I'm gonna probably just wait. They formed this gap here on the 15, so I feel like they're gonna try to trap some sellers maybe and push price up higher before going lower. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but just kind of looking at the structure of the 15-minute right now, it's closing doji, right? So we have a sweep at the low, closing back in. Highly likely if it's really bearish, they won't be able to get to these highs. But again, we're at a major level settlement. They just repaired it, so you see buyers have been supporting. This is the first true pullback, and buyers have defended themselves. So this also becomes my liquidity for when I get short. So I'm going to be using this as my targets. Well, let's see what happens here. I'm going to just scalp along here.
We see the release of the Dallas Fed Manufacturing
Target
Business
hit.
Index for June. Forecast of 1 on the prior 0.4.
That was a quick scalp. Reclaim of 400. I know the stream's got a little bit of a delay, but then you'll just see the entry there. Instant target. On the reclaim of 400.
NQ 100 buy.
So buyers succeeded on their first pullback. And you need that. When price sells off aggressively like that, right? We need to get buyers back in the game. We need to generate some stop losses. We need to build that liquidity pocket to the downside. Now, why did the price drop the way it did? Well, there was a lot of opportunity since price had grinded up all Globex. And then you had the scenario where we have this opening gap from RTH to settlement. So these are things that you put that together. It's like, okay, they got to repair that and fill a bunch of orders. And now look at price reclaiming. So watching that 500, we just tagged our orange lug levels, which would have been the target if you were holding longs on the reclaim of 400s.
So we'll bounce off of the session lows here. S&P up 0.2%, Nasdaq up 0.3%, Dow up 0.4%.
There's my 500. We're approaching. Nice little channel up here. Let's see. Let them keep pushing. So for initial balance, once it gets set, we now have our range that we can play with. And notice how we're going to probably end up closing in the middle, obviously, of the initial balance. Which, in my opinion, when you have that, it basically just gives a 50-50 possibility. You know, like, okay, we're at the middle. They formed a high first, they formed a low first, but we've closed back up. We've reclaimed from the low back to the mid. So at this point, the main thing to look at is how does price interact with this 500 level? And, you know, we have the New York opening print to 29,643s. So we'll see. But if we do reclaim and fail 500, that's a short for me, back down to the IB low.
We're shortly expecting the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Business Index.
Okay, I'm looking for a failure below 500s if we can get it.
Dallas Fed Manufacturing Business Index at 0. That's 0. Lower than forecast 1.
NQ 100 sell. NQ 100 sell. NQ 100 sell.
Large offer detected. 100 contracts on the offer. They're stacking the offer here. See, AI is telling us what's up. So we've accepted back above 500. It's saying that we had large offers, 100 contracts detected, and we're trading through it. So strong possibility that we might see this thing retest the 600s. I'd be looking for rejection at around the New York Open, reclaim of the 500, and then we can maybe get short back down to the lows. If we do stay firm above New York Open, then we'll be targeting high a day at 29,800s. So we've accepted back above 500. Okay. Yeah, it's getting really nice here. So 10:30 open, the price being 29,546s. That's my anchor I'm going to be watching for.
Prime short.
Prime short. Let's see. I'm not going to short it yet, but let's see what happens. We did just fail the VWAP. Maybe I will short it. Yeah, we just shorted. We just failed the VWAP. Let's give it a go. See what happens here. All right, there's already 70 plus ticks. Let's see. I'm gonna take a partial already. Leave my target a little bit higher. Make my stop. I took that partial. Just watching here. Do they reclaim 675s? I mean 575s. I cut if they hold firm. They could just shoot this thing right back above the VWAP. They trap below the VWAP. Got my stop right there, right above the big figure. Tag that on the trail. A nice little quick scalp there. Took a partial, but that runner just got tagged. And that's okay. That's okay. You just review that real quick. So got short, took the partial, and then I kept my stop open just in case it wanted to completely reclaim and fail. We're now testing that New York Open. We're above the 10 a.m. opening print. This is actually what I was wanting to see for my original short thesis. Now he's got to wait. Tight stop. Take a tight stop here. Gonna try.
Prime short.
There's 60 ticks. There's the prime short. Let's see if we get that
NQ 100 buy.
under 617. Under 617. It could still be active here, and it could pump this thing through the opening
Wall
print.
Street Journal's Tim Morales on the Cook situation says the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 against Trump on Lisa Cook. It says at the minimum, Cook was entitled to some explanation of the evidence at issue and some avenue for a response, and a deadline by which a response would be due. For those interested, we've posted Wall Street Journal's Tim Morales'
You see
article on the
prime
feed for those
shorts.
interested.
We're holding 617. There's the VWAP here. There's the 100 ticks. I'm taking my partial, going break even on that, and we'll let the runner run back to the low of day if we can get there. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see. We'd have to reclaim 600s down here. 15 minute, still has time left. That's the problem, right? We still got 9 minutes left on this 15 minute. I need to see price get back below 617s, and then maybe we get some test of 600, then a break of 600, and then acceleration lower. Let's see. But they are protecting 625s. Let's see if we get that closure below 600. Defending here. Let's look at the book map. This is when I'll watch the book map when we get to these levels. It's also our POC, our point of control.
So Axios is rabid on X. Says Special Envoy Witkoff and Kushner will travel to Doha today and meet on Tuesday the Qatari PM and other officials to discuss the talks with Iran. On Wednesday, the US and Iranian technical teams will be meeting separately with the Qatari and Pakistani media.
So for this to really shift structure, I need to price get below this red block. And we get back below 500, and then we can expect low day, right? That's my plan. So we'll see. Below here, boom, good. We're holding 200 ticks right now, so. And I'm watching to see because, you know, we had this break of the lug level. If we can start getting back below 500s or 550s, then we get this nice little pullback all the way down here. I'd be looking for like the 500. I'll take my next target at 500. My next partial. Well, I only have 2 contracts left, but I'm sitting on 300 ticks right now. That's financial juice. It's not an AI. The AI is the thing you see where it says Vega AI. That's what's running and spitting out, and we're still working on it, but it's spitting out basically the auction updates, what's going on. It's like a play-by-play, like you're watching a sports, like you're watching the World Cup, and you have a commentator who's telling you what's going on, what you should be paying attention to. Look at that reclaim. Watching 600 here. Oof, that was nasty. You need the fundamentals running in the background just because the current market conditions that we're in, with everything going on, you kind of want to be aware of like what's happening. You have to. Nice rejection there off 25s. I like that. Maybe we can add some more. Added a few more contracts. I hope they don't trap me though, because that's what they'll do. They'll make it look like it's a rejection and swipe it all the way back up again. Well, let's see. Ugh, that 1 minute wick is usually easy pickings. Yeah, they're gonna trap. Oh no, okay. Nice rejection again of 600. That's a second rejection of 600. Right? You see that? Support, boom, rejected, rejected. Now I just need to see them take out these guys. They take out this level right here. And we might make some money today, guys. Well, so far, we're doing pretty good. I need this to get some acceleration below 75, though. Oh, man, I don't want them to trap me right here. But remember, we're still below the hourly open. So even with this big move up, we're still below the hourly opening print. So that's kind of why I'm like, okay, as long as we stay unable to accept above that hourly open, then maybe we have a chance of a bigger continuation move down. But we'll see. They're pinning here around 600. It's an important level. Oops. And we're also supporting by getting the VWAP buyers. So it's a combination of both things happening at once. Let's get rid of this. So we're compressing here. It's going to probably break out one more time before it goes down, to be honest. So I may consider just cutting this for a smaller trade. Let's see what happens here. It's all about what happens right here. $17.25 is that level. This is where buyers are going to try to defend and buy the pullback. So hopefully, if I'm right, then this can trap, and then the buyers get stuck, and then boom. If I'm wrong, they'll use this, and then they'll take out this high one more time. Yeah, I don't think it's ready yet, guys. They're cooking. Let's see. 617 at hourly open. They are pinning that level, man. I'm going to probably cut this trade. They just reclaimed 600s. Yeah. Just going to cut it and wait. Or I could just size down, right? That's the other option. I was waiting for this 600 level to... I'm just trying to figure out what they're going to do with this 600 level. Okay, they closed back under again, so I reactivated that short on this little pocket right here. Taking my partial already. Scalping out, baby. We don't want them reclaiming 600s. They just spent a bunch of time here. But if we can't close under 600 in 20 seconds, it's a new 15-minute candle. That means they're going to probably sweep it one more time. So watching new 15-minute candle just opening. Which way is it going to go? There's the 100 ticks. Hold on, let's see what happens here. I don't want price above. Well, the good news is we never accepted above 617 on the hourly, so I like that. I'm good with that. I just need to see price get below this 550 level, stay heavy, and then we can get comfortable again. Just put it in cruise control after that. There we go. I'm going break even on these on the runner. And now let's see if we can get a move back towards our lug level. So 466s, 500s is our major. But that was a very nice interaction with that key level 600, with the confluence being the hourly opening price. We have a prime long signal, which is a good opportunity for me to get short again, if it fails. If it fails. Those are pretty good signals when we're in a rotation or a range. There you go. That's what we want to see. So if that fails and stays heavy, 550, we can lean on that. There we go. 200 ticks. Let's see if we can get some more expansion now. 500, below 500s, we can just walk away, go walk the dog, let this thing do what it needs to do. Nice. We've closed and rejected back outside the opening range low. That's nice.
Prime long.
Another prime long. Let's see. They're still trying. Buyers are still trying. Watching this 15-minute, they didn't really give me a meaningful move through the low yet. I want to see this thing start creating distance below the prior 15-minute low. So we need this thing to move below 625s. look at the book map. You got that buyer that spiked into 550s and then rejected, trapped above 550. We like these things. These little spikes, that's trap buyers. We're up 300 ticks. There we go. There's that 15-minute. We're below the 15-minute low, prior 15-minute low. We're back into negative gamma territory. Now, if we can get some closure below 500, I think we'll be seeing lower prices here, back to 29,000, which is my original target, or I should say 1-day mid, because I don't know if we're going to be able to go that far. Let's see, where's that 1-day mid? Oh yeah, it's way below 29,000, so could be a nice swing. Look at that, so nice. Every resistance level holding up. So that 15-minute candle still could sweep. It could still reclaim 625s and then come back up. It's still a possibility, right? We have not gotten acceptance below the major quarter, which is the 500 level. So at 500, I'm sorry, the 29,500 level. But price action is smooth and chilling here. We still have 10 minutes left on the hourly. And there they go. See, they're trying to sweep again. Come on. Is that a full reclaim? Like, really? I got tagged out on my trail. I was up 300 ticks on that runner. Should have probably trailed a little bit, but I was trying to go for, you know, that bigger move. But that's why I took partials. I took partials, no problem. So let's recap that one right there. So you can see the trade. The first attempt was here, entry, took a partial. Tried to scale in right here, got tagged out on my trail. Should have held it, to be honest, but I just didn't like it, right? And then I re-entered on the failure, took my partial for like 100 ticks, and then just got tagged out on my runner. That's okay. And I mentioned that, right? So it's all about them closing and getting some, see what's going to happen with the 500. Otherwise, they could sweep, reclaim 25s, and go back to the highs, right? We kind of discussed that as a possibility. And you always have to look at what are the possibilities. And if you know, look, I know people say, hey, trend lines don't work. They don't really work, right? But they're helpful because you can see how we ended up holding the initial move here, boom, and then look at that. When you combine that right over here, there you go. I mean, does it work? I don't know if it works, but all I know is I'm looking at a chart in this current scenario where, hey, it just happened to work, right? But of course, I don't trade off of a trend line. But it's good to know that we're looking where buyers are going to try to defend their positions. That might be the short right here, guys, to be honest. Let's see. Prime short. Let's see. No, not yet. Buyers are still going to try to get this higher high. Let's see if they can get that higher high. Yeah, we're going to wait. So the higher high on the 1 minute chart, right? So you can't see it on the 8-bar Renko chart. But the buyers would need to get this higher high for them to resolve, right? What they're trying to accomplish. Now we're forming a base. Problem is we're forming a base above all this. So that's, to me, I cannot be shorting, you know, while all these sellers here are trapped, right? These guys all got trapped. Well, you just have to understand what you're dealing with here. So you got trapped sellers. If those folks end up buying back their positions, that could be capitulation to the upside, right? And what I don't like is this 15-minute reclaim of the 525 level. So I think this 15 minutes is going to run the high. It's going to create an outside candle, outside bar. And then on that outside bar, for rotation, then I would want to see inside bar, and then from there, then the next candle, we can decide what we're going to do with it. But I'm anticipating that they do sweep the high of this 15-minute candle. the prior 15-minute candle, which is 53s. Yeah, we'll see. Let's delete all this. And that's our consolidation. Right above the hourly open. We got to offer 100 contracts at 50s. There you go. There's the hourly, the 15-minute high. Let's see if they're gonna. Okay. This could be a potential short area if we get back underneath the zone. So I'm going to leave that there for my future reference here. When we consolidate more specifically at key levels like that, that's an area of interest. Buyers filled the offer here. We did get that higher high, 15-minute candle. Yeah. Look at that. So lug levels got us from yellow to target 1, 466s. From 466 to our red lug level. Full rotation. I mean, some huge trades today on lug levels. It's the best kept secret, to be honest. Opening range mid. Ooh.
Prime short.
Oof. I gotta take that. Come on now. I gotta take that. Mm. But stop there. Mm. Try one more time. Let's see if we can break this structure here. Trend lines don't work, right? So let's short against it. Let's short against it. Let's see. These guys are still firming up here, holding 650s. So this is support right here. These guys need to get trapped. They're still holding. Stops above 700. 15 minutes, still trying to push above. Got our red lug level 691s. I'm not sure if I like this grind up. Are they going to capitulate through 691s? It looks like they're trying. It's opening range mid too. I like that.
So US Senator Cotton on X says Apple is using blacklisted Chinese chips.
Oh, good. We just got some bad news about Apple. So hopefully that gets the market to go down. They're using blacklisted chips.
Be a mistake.
Hopefully that gets Apple stock to go down, put pressure on the NASDAQ, and we can get our short here. That's what I needed. That's why you got to listen, you see? Oh, shit. I should have took my partial, man. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Push through. One more time. I need these candles to stop sweeping. They got the low already, bruv. Gotta watch out. This new 1 hour candle's about to open up. They're gonna probably pump a little bit more. They're not letting go support. Buyers still trying to take control of this auction here. Well, we're at our opening range mid. Hopefully we get the sellers here to start hammering a little bit, but we're not getting anything yet. This is our little range that we're in now. So remember, we have this range below. That's kind of what we want to see. We want to see a range, form a range, and then we want to start seeing this range fail, and then we get below the other range, and then we have multi-levels of trap buyers. Watching this red lug level, hopefully it holds its resistance. Ooh. Tagged out there, guys. All good. I should have waited for some type of confirmation. Let's see. So that was another loss there. Took back to back. So I took the first one and then I re-entered again. So let's see what happens next.
So with reference to the Senator Cotton headlines earlier regarding Apple's use of blacklisted chips, this is following an FT article from over the weekend where Apple seeked US approval to buy chips from blacklisted company CXMT.
Retesting prior settlement. Try one more time, guys. This will be it for me here. This will be it for me here. 613s. Yeah. Watching this 11 o'clock open at 7:13. Forming another consolidation here. Keep building value higher. So possibility this thing might take out initial balance high, 800s. New lug level formed. Interesting. Yeah, we haven't really broken any support levels as of yet, so, but I am just leaning on some key levels. So this is our prior settlement, but technically we should be waiting for a breakdown of a level, a failure, before trying to catch a reversal. Okay, watching success.
Prime short.
Our hourly open here. They're going to reclaim, buyer's going to reclaim this, and this could be just the low of the hourly, and we push up higher. Got a prime short.
Israel's Channel 13, citing Defense Minister Katz, says, "We're prepared for blue and white operation in Iran. The stay in Lebanon is long term."
Nice. Let's see if we get some breakdown here of 700s. I don't want them to reclaim hourly open. So watching this area here. Oh, there's 120 ticks. Oh. I'll take a little partial, go break even, and I can consider scaling in more or adding more if we can stay bearish. Well, spoke too soon. Let's try it one more time. Oh boy. See that offer that was here, 138 contracts? It's kind of holding up as nice little resistance, this little zone here. But we still haven't failed 700 yet, so I re-entered on that rejection of the 713 level. And it's holding this area here too. I think these boys are trying to get that IB high. Boom, let's go. What are we doing, fellas? 700s. They keep probing and spiking that level. They keep reclaiming, failing, reclaiming. Hourly open, that's the focus. Oh, there it goes. Let's see. Yeah, the buyers could not, sellers could not keep price under 713s. Let's see, this is the last chance here with the settlement price. Oof. Hopefully they aren't going to sweep here this 1 minute. 15 minutes, about 5 minutes left. Let's see. Nice. Failure of 700s. Now, watching to see, I'm going to take a partial there. 130 ticks, break even. I like that. Let's see now. These guys are chomping. They're trying here. So I just paid myself a little bit.
Prime long.
Oh, prime long. Tag that on my trail. But I do like that 700 rejection. Let's go and wait. We have a minute and a half here for this 15-minute candle to close. So maybe there'll be a nice little opportunity here on this next 15-minute candle. So that trade was nice. Was able to lock in about 130 ticks. And then tagged out on my little runner. I do like that 700 holding as resistance, but I need more than that. I mean, that 713 level did hold as, I mean, you could see they failed a few times here. So we failed here and here, and now they're back again. So the thing is, we didn't really get that displacement that I was hoping for. So that's why I'm waiting for this 15-minute to close, because that means that current 15, just look at it, 20 seconds left, it's doji. And it's very clean here at these highs. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait. It looks like it wants to run IB high at 800s. Watching the lug level here too to see if we get some closure above, and if we do, that's going to be the long signal for a move back up towards 800s. Okay, there's a new 15-minute.
The Fed bids for 3-month bills totaling $6 billion and 6-month bills totaling 5.1.
Look at that. So let's watch this lug level here, because 26s could potentially, if we fail to hold,
short.
we could probably get back short again. There's a short right there. Let's see. Hopefully they don't reclaim and sweep. It's a little late entry there on my side. Jeez. Too late. That was a terrible entry. Entry should have been right here, but I manually executed that versus letting the auto execution take place. Let's see if they defend 713 hourly print again. Resistance becomes support. Let's see. Oh, close back under settlement. That's nice. And a failure of the yellow lug level. That's even nice. Huh, interesting. Let's see. The 700 is the main level we gotta focus on, because this is, they just keep defending the 700s. 700s to 675s. I may need to close this because my entry was so terrible. Take my little small scratch and then just wait. But I'm going to see. I'm watching how price interacts here with this. I'm leaning on the yellow lug level here. So 726s to 730s. Or 725s. Nice 15-minute sweep so far. We swept the high of the 15-minute candle. We're back underneath. Another 100 ticks. I'm just going to take that little partial. Just take 2 off for that one. Okay, we got some reclaim of 700s
In
again.
10 minutes time now, at the bottom of the hour, the US is due to sell $92 billion in
Stops
3-month
break
bills.
even.
The prior high yield was 3.695%, and the prior bid to cover was 2.68. The US is also due to sell $79 billion in 6-month bills, with a prior high yield of 3.84% and a prior bid to cover of 2.51.
So I'm keeping my stop above this 713 level, where the buyers got recently trapped. So kind of like a mental stop, but I will cut it sooner than that. Not taking a full stop if it's unnecessary. 725 is really the main level for me. So watching this rotation right here to see if they're going to use this to take it back up higher. So watching this signal here as we are testing the hourly open print along with 725s, which is settlement. Still pushing, and they just threw an offer out. I'm gonna cut that trade, guys. Take that little cut there on that runner. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have cut it. I'm just waiting to see what happens with that lug level. Try that long since we've reclaimed hourly open. Lug level hopefully holds, and maybe we get a move back to IB high, opening range high. Last thing I would want though is a trap again. So we did have an offer come in at 750s. Where did it go? That's another really bad entry on my end. That was a bad entry on my side. Big rejection too again, jeez. Just watching the 700 level once again. If they're going to stay above and hold. I just don't like how they keep failing above 713s. That's the problem. I like that. All right, got back in short again on that failure. I was trying to get long thinking that maybe we accept above the yellow lug level, but we actually never got a closure through it. So got stopped out. It was an ugly stop, but recognize the shift. So maybe this is going to be the expansion lower. I'm watching. Hopefully we don't reclaim 700 again. Well, we are still supporting price here. There we go. Let's go.
Trump on Truth Social says we will take the appropriate action on Fed Cook's lawsuit. So Trump is still saying that he does want to try and get Fed Cook removed, saying that he will take appropriate action. This is following the Supreme Court, who have blocked Trump's Fed firing, but it does
These
allow the
boys
removal
keep
of other
defending
agencies.
the 25 level here.
In 5 minutes' time now, at the bottom of the hour, the US is due to sell $92 billion in 3-month bills. The prior high yield was 3.695%. The private to cover was 2.68. The US is also due to sell $79 billion in 6-month bills, with a prior high yield of 3.84% and a private to cover of 2.51.
Take my scalp. This market is this range that we're in is a little much. Should just took my little scalp 60 ticks. Man. Back above 700 again. Yeah, all right, I'm done with that. All right, well, that was a little bit of a chop on my end. We'll take a look at kind of what happened there, right? So we got short, really bad entry, late entry, should have been higher up here. Executed late, took my partial, then got tagged out on my runner. Then we said, okay, they reclaim, maybe we get long. So we got long and then boom, tag back out. Shorted on the breakdown again, didn't take the partial, and then we just got tagged out there. So this range did a nice little number on me. But I mean, overall, it is what it is. You know, it's fine. We just gonna need to wait a little bit. But the fact that they cannot or have not been able to stay heavy below the hourly open price, you know, so we just got to just be patient here to see if we're going to get expansion in one direction or the other. I'm watching the lug level as we continue to form now this broadening formation here to see what they're going to do. If they're going to be able to just sustain the buyers pretty strong here off 76s. So we'll see if we get this follow through move, and if they can, then we can look for price if it accepts above 26s, 726s. That might be our actual play. So I'll try one last time here on that closure above, and let's see if we can finally get some expansion through 750s. If not, then it is what it is. We're going to shut it down. So I'm just watching this level here, this lug level, 26. $7.95. And then orange. Red is at 9.85s. Our IB highs
We're
at
shortly expecting the
840s.
results from both the 3 and 6
So
month
target
auctions.
those IB highs. So we've taken partials at 800s, opening range high, and then the IB high at 840s. If we can get some follow through. A lot of good scalp trades. I just didn't take those profits. I was holding for the bigger moves, but it's kind of the name of the game. I initially started off with like back-to-back scalps, so I had a nice cushion. There we go. Okay, we got 15 seconds left on this 15-minute candle. They did a nice number here though at the low. Look how they swept that 62 level right off the 9 moving average, and then boom. So we got 6 seconds. We may have breakout here on the 15, but this is kind of what we're paying attention to here, 87s. So we're holding. Got a nice offer here at 800s. There we go. Let's see if we get that opening range. Oh, we just tagged opening range high. Let's take a partial there. So just made back pretty good chunk there on that move. Let's see if we can get some movement above 800s, and then I can just hold this thing to IB high. Yeah, you know, it's the thing is about, I see what you're saying, Abe, like Mondays are difficult, right? Friday's difficult. Technically trading is difficult. So trading is difficult if you don't have a good read on the market, right? And so if you have a specific focus and strategy like trend trading strategy, yeah, certain days it's not trend trading. Or if you have range trading strategy, like it's maybe like what you're trying to do is like, for instance, I have 2 types of signals, as you already know, Abe. We have primes, which are our rotation signals. And then we have trifecta, which is our trend trading signals. So in this instance, the market has shifted from, you know, downtrend, consolidation, uptrend into a range. So even within the last 2 hours, we've gone from different, you know, trend conditions to rotation conditions to trend conditions to rotation conditions. Same thing happens overall on a day-to-day basis. So it just really depends on what time frame you're looking at. But overall, the most important thing is being able to stay fluid in what's happening in the moment, like what's happening real time. So 15-minute right now, we've broken above 700s. You can see they attempted to keep price. The main key thing here was this: we closed below the 500 level, immediately closed back up. Okay, so potential failure, right? Then you see on this candle, I think, what time was this? 11 o'clock. This was their opportunity to reclaim 500, but they failed. They swept it, boom, closed up higher, got a break of 700, closure above. The next candle at 11:15 closed above 700. The next candle, they swept the low at 665, closed back above 750s or 750. So another breakout. So let's actually drop our smart levels on. So you can see they're breaking every quarter level to the upside. And because of that, you know, yeah, I was trying to short this, anticipating weakness below the hourly open. And we did get some movement. We did get some nice little move here, but buyers stepped right back in, absorbed. And so at that point, it's like, do I continue to stay stubborn and fixated on this idea, or do I go with the flow? In this case, I just decided let's flip long, go with the flow, and that's it. So, you know, what happens a lot of times, we get locked in to a bias because we want to see something happen, right? We want to see something transpire according to how, you know, we trade. We want to make the market fit to our own strategy, approach, or perception. And it's normal, happens to everybody, you know. But that's why it's important that I think I like having my AI here, because the AI is telling me straight up, look, it's reclaimed 775s. Okay, so if it's reclaimed 775s, should I be looking to short this thing right now? Right, it's above Globex VWAP. It's accepted multiple quarter levels from 500s to 550s. It's been continuously accepting higher, unable to accept lower. So that's the clue. That's the auction, right? The auction is telling us that sellers are unable to keep control of price. Buyers continuously absorb. We get closures above, acceptance above higher. I'm using my lug levels as directional bias. The fact that we accumulated here below the yellow lug level, important. This was the opportunity right here for this thing to fail and rotate, but we couldn't do it. So we formed a nice little broadening formation, and then we have impulse higher, right? Impulse higher. So lucky for me, I decided to get long right here on the breakback up 26s, and now I'm sitting in some green. Yeah, exactly. I think, you know, one thing I've noticed too, it's like the textbooks say you should only have, like, you know, you want your trading to look as clean as possible and pretty, right? You want to have the great entry. You want your risk to reward to be, you know, 1.5 to 1 or 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, whatever it is. Yeah, that's great, you know, but at least for what I do with momentum trading, I mean, I'm scalping, right? I'm scalping the market. So the market's going to do this, so I'm going to do this. If it's going to do that, I'm going to do that. And sometimes it's ugly. Sometimes it's ugly. And, you know, sometimes I'm going to flip. I'm going to go from short to long instantly. And that's okay. Because I'm not interested in being right. I'm interested in making money. I need to make some money. Look at that. So now I watch to see what happens here again. They failed here at 75. So that's a new level to pay attention to. So the 800 level, right? We have the 800 plus the opening range high. And now we just watch and see what happens. But I'm going to call the stream here. I'm going to end it on that note. So we were able to catch a nice little runner there. Sorry, not a runner, but a nice little spike for about 100 plus ticks. Runner got tagged. And that's good overall. So, I mean, we took some pretty decent plays throughout the session. I'll do a recap later on and post it on YouTube. If you have any questions about anything, you guys can drop a comment. You can check out the website, dynastytradingsystems.com. I'll post it here. I'm just getting things set up here on the YouTube, so not everything is fluid and working and all that. But all the indicators you see that I use are part of the membership that we offer. So it's a singular package that includes everything. So it's not like you're having to pay for this and pay for that. And that's it. We make it happen. It includes videos, courses. You can learn more on our website. You guys have an awesome rest of your session. Take care. See you guys tomorrow.